Hi everyone, welcome to my video of how I show you a day in the life working as an analyst in finance in New York City. I'll be taking you along and bringing you upstairs to the office so you can see what a day in the life looks like in finance. I chose a day that wasn't particularly busy but wasn't particularly slow, so you'd kind of get to see what an average day looks like working in the office. So let's head upstairs and see what the day is going to be all about. Don't worry, this isn't an AMSR video or whatever they're called. I just wanted to show you guys the silence of the office sometimes in the morning. So I usually like to get in before everyone, have breakfast, before the day kind of gets started, before my manager's online, and just have my breakfast in peace. I have some blueberries, cottage cheese, good culture cottage cheese always, and just kind of checking emails and seeing what's in my inbox before the day gets started or before the day can potentially get ruined with a fire drill. But today looks like it might be pretty good in the morning, and again, the mornings are a little bit busier, so I want to make sure that I'm ready, prepared, have all my logins ready, have all my files open so I'm not wasting time, kind of when it's 9 o'clock, opening and closing tabs and logging in, kind of taking this slower time in the morning to get started and get my day prepared. So it's finally 9 a.m. and here I am writing a to-do list of all the things I need to get done this morning, and I usually like to start off with the most urgent and time-sensitive matters first because those are the things I want to get completed and out the door as fast as possible. So a lot of people ask me, what do you do working in finance? What do you do on a day-to-day? And I'll tell you, every day is truly different, and I used to hate when people tell me that. When I was, looking to work in the industry, I'm like, what does that mean? So that means that mainly every day you're going to be doing a combination of things. That's a combination of either, updating a model for a client or building a model from scratch, rarely from scratch, but a lot of the times it's basically updating models in Excel, looking through financial statements, building out a client presentation in PowerPoint, something I've done a lot, especially when I started out my career. Just really, getting materials ready, I'd say, for your clients. And those clients can be other companies, other banks, other financial institutions, even kind of your manager. Sometimes I think of my manager as a client. I have to get my work done for them. And a lot of the times it's just preparing materials for other people to help transactions come together. That can involve doing research on a company, research on financials, going through 10Ks, 10Qs, getting information together, looking through research reports. And I'd say that's kind of the bulk of what you're doing. You'll have some side projects on the side, but here you see me kind of being laser focused and working really fast. Obviously this video is sped up for time's sake, but this is basically what I do on a day-to-day. I'm crunching numbers a lot. You see me using the number keypad a lot. I try to not to go on my phone basically, till 12 noon at all. Try not to schedule any coffee chats, any, client calls during this time, because this is the time when I'm in the zone. And the reason this is because I'd say a lot of the times people are most present and responsive from 9 to kind of lunchtime. So I try to make use of this time and kind of get everything wrapped up before lunch, because then things kind of slow down. And that's just kind of my train of thought. And as I'm even getting prepared for lunch, I like to make a list of items to do after lunch. So let's go to lunch.
Some lunch. And it's windy outside, but I'm gonna get some lunch.
So lunch is a quick walk over. Obviously this was taped months before this is posted. If you're watching this in the summer, it's nice and hot out in New York right now when I'm posting this, but I usually like to go out for lunch if I didn't bring something from home, try to eat as healthy as possible, like lean protein, salmon, things like that. I try not to eat at the desk if I can, if time constraints allow, just because I feel like when you eat at the desk it's super stressful. But obviously if there's like something super urgent to get done, I'll eat at the desk. Otherwise I like to enjoy my lunch and either go with a coworker or watch a show and kind of use this time to decompress. And people who skip lunch, that's really great for you, but I feel like I need to get some fuel in before I head back to the office. So it's about 1 o'clock right now in the afternoon, and most of my afternoons usually consist of being on some form of a client call or speaking to somebody on the phone or on Zoom, whatever it may be. I am using my phone headphones for this because I don't have my headset, but basically I'd say most of the afternoon is usually spent on calls. If it's earnings season, forget it, it's calls like the whole day, and that's all you're doing. So a lot of the times I feel like when you're on a call or when you're speaking to somebody, most of the time they're either giving you feedback, giving you updates on information, or giving you edits on things that I submitted earlier in the day from like the 9 to 12 time frame. And from myself, I'd say it's really hard to get actual work done during this time. That's why I like to get all my things done in the morning before lunchtime, because again, once it's afternoon time, I know I'm gonna be busy on phone calls. It's actually funny to see myself talk and like the weird facial expressions I guess I make, but again, this video is sped up. But again, the afternoon goes by pretty quickly, and calls can either be a company announcing earnings or a client telling us some feedback that they have on a presentation, or terms of a deal, and letting us know that a certain rate won't work, or changes in financing, or really just updates. I'd say the afternoon is when whatever you did in the morning can potentially get fully changed, and you have to do everything all over again. But that's just kind of the nature of the job. It's really iterative and it constantly changes and it's dynamic. So, that's just kind of how it is. You always have to be ready for change and adapt. But that's why I like to get things done in the morning. So I know that the afternoon I have free time, and before you know it, it's almost time to go home. And that's kind of how the afternoon is. So it's basically 5:30 and I'm packing up my stuff to go home. And it's been a pretty good work day, meaning that I get to leave when it's still daylight outside. The hours in finance are rarely 9 to 5, so this day can be kind of an exception. People always ask me, what are the hours like? This industry is known to have grueling long hours, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The hours can be long. There have been many, many nights that I've left the office past midnight, so it's definitely something that does happen, and kind of be prepared to work those hours. But some times of the year it can be lighter hours. Some departments have lighter hours, so it's kind of a mix. But anyway, I'm packing up my stuff to go home because my office space doesn't really have assigned seating for everyone, and every day you can be seated in a different space. There are pros and cons to it, but you kind of get used to it over time. So I'm closing out all of my browsers and ready to pack up and go home. I do believe in having a very clean workspace for the next person that comes in tomorrow. So here I am using Clorox wipes, which this video is not sponsored by, but I love Clorox wipes in that they kind of disinfect the space and get it ready and keep a clean environment for my coworkers and myself. So it's about 5:45 and I'm officially out of the office and in one of my favorite places of the whole wide world, which is Whole Foods. I love grocery shopping. I don't know, I just find it so therapeutic. Love getting like healthy finds, sometimes not so healthy. And you'll kind of see me picking up some of my favorite items. I love Bonza pasta. It's a chickpea pasta. I know it sounds weird, but it tastes pretty good. I love Rao's tomato sauce. I could do like a whole haul on some of the specialty items I get. Ezekiel bread is also one of them. Now I'm heading to get some of my favorite items, which you kind of saw earlier in the video, which is that Good Culture cottage cheese. I'm literally obsessed with it. This video is not sponsored by it, and there was a shortage of it I think a couple weeks ago, and people were like really concerned, and so was I, because I love it. And now just picking up some fresh fruits and veggies for the week, just so I have some groceries at home, salad packs, things of that nature. I'm gonna get some bananas. I love bananas. I'm always snacking on them in the office and at home. And yeah, just kind of keeping like healthy food on by. I try to eat healthy, but I do have my moments where I slip up, so I could like do a whole video on kind of what a day-to-day looks like for that. Just getting some salad packs, veggies, and heading out and checking out. So if you see me in Whole Foods, I'm here a lot. I feel like this is my second home sometimes. So if you ever see me, say hi. And now I'm heading out to check out. Okay, gonna check out and head to the gym. Don't do this every night, but today's one of those nights. Here I'm on the treadmill. It's about 6:15. Trying to get that 12:30, but most of the times I'm on a like 10 incline. But yeah. All right, I'm super sweaty and tired, so bye. See you guys.